Yoongi called lazy. It seemed she couldn't get this out of her mind. With a sultry anger, she went to pack her things and spent almost the whole afternoon looking out the window because Grandpa's garden was full of blooming, beautiful seasonal flowers. The surroundings were fragrant. Tears welled up in her eyes again. The teenage heart swelled. Why did you leave me alone? She murmured and complained against the person who had already departed from this world. Grandpa Min knocked on the door. He left me too. I'm not complaining like that, and I didn't leave you, but look, you are leaving me too. I'm still not complaining because I know it's more important for you to go to the med school. Similarly, your grandfather was in so much pain, the way he was suffering, his pain was not easing. Don't try to understand, learn to understand. I'm not saying the pain will be less, but still, you have to understand. Hmm, she sniffed. What happened? Did my grandson do something that hurt you? Grandpa Min asked her. He indirectly called me lazy, and to cover it up, he said I am hardworking, but I'm not a morning person, she said angrily. Although it sounded like a complaint, it sounded very soothing to the experienced ears. This was the very first time she had complained about Yoongi. The old man curved his lips as he could judge wisely from his experienced perspective that their relationship was slowly improving. He is all yours, and I trust you. Argue with him, only then you both will get the chance to know each other better. But don't let these little arguments drag on. You look exhausted, Van. You rest for a while. I will tell someone to send him. He will be coming after finishing his work. You settle all the differences with him and be very happy in life. I don't know if we will get another chance to meet again. I know you are very busy, but if you get a little break in your personal life, if you ever get tired, this place will always be there for you. The old man left the room. Grandpa Kim had already left her. When Grandpa Min also questioned the certainty of their meeting again, she tried to keep herself calm for a while. As soon as the old man left, she buried her face in the pillow on the bed and tried to hold back her tears and eventually fall asleep. Entering the room, Yoongi noticed Wen sleeping in the bed. He knew that the girl probably had fallen asleep after crying. He laid her in the bed properly, then tied up her clothes and covered her with a bed sheet, adjusted the temperature of the room to her liking. Yes, amidst all this, Wen realized that Yoongi had come and was putting her to bed properly. But she didn't want to get up, talk to him, or even open her eyes. She fell asleep again. It was around 2 o'clock in the morning when Yoongi opened his eyes. He saw her with his half opened eyes. She was ready, but the tiredness in her eyes indicated that she had probably not slept all night. Morning. Actually, I fell asleep a little early, so I didn't get the chance to ask you when we would have to leave. So I had to get up early, she said, focusing her devastated eyes on the floor. You have packed everything. Yoongi yawned and stretched his arms. What's the time? 2:10 a.m. When answered and then asked, do you need my help packing your luggage? I don't have to pack any luggage. That backpack is enough. I have packed all the important files in it yesterday. Just need to put a few pairs of underwear in my bag and we will be leaving in half an hour. He uttered in morning husky tone and went to the washroom. After a few minutes, Yoongi came out of the washroom and asked, "Did you put my underwear in the bag?" Yes. At this topic, Wen had been trying to swallow hard in her dry throat, and when he came out of the washroom, he asked her the same. "Wife duty?" she asked. "No, just casual help. You asked me and I answered. That's all, Wen. I will never force you until you will be willing to accept your own responsibilities to me. You may not be willing to express by uttering a statement. You may try to show by your actions that you are ready to fulfill those responsibilities. And if I understand those hints, I will definitely insist you to do these things. Otherwise, it's a big no." Even though he didn't admit it out loud, he was hopeful somewhere that she might understand her wifely duties. He silently sighed and got ready for the airport. Saying goodbye to Grandpa Min, they got into the car. It was still dark outside. Van's mind went blank as soon as the driver ignited the car engine. This might be her last visit to this place. Maybe she won't come to this place again. She looked at the farmhouse with all her heart. She calculated it might be the last time she was capturing the beautiful view of this place, but for the first time, the place captured her mind. The car stopped at the airport. "We are still on time." Yoongi checked the time and put on a mask. "Journalists can take pictures. You can wear a mask and sunglasses if you want. It's entirely your choice." "Why?" Wen asked. "I need to let your best cousins know that I am with you. You are not only using my surname, but I myself am expressing my solidarity with you," Yoongi stated before getting out of the car. Without hesitation, he placed his small backpack on top of Wen's luggage and began to push it to the airport. On the other side, Wen was not only surprised or shocked, it was as if a new world had opened up to her. A fully dramatic world where people had to act out dramatics to prove those small, unimportant things. She kept noticing silently, attentively, and thanked herself profusely for not choosing that pink Peppa Pig trolley bag. And they finally boarded. Wen silently sighed as she thought that maybe that was the end of that sophisticated, dramatic world. But her astonishment only grew. The cabin crew led them to their respective seats. "We have a special honeymoon package for you. Our airline is providing it to you as a result of your ticket upgradation." Yoongi nodded in agreement and the cabin crew left. One stared at Yoongi with surprised eyes. There was no ticket upgradation. You had bought business class tickets. So, Yoongi casually shrugged his shoulders. "There was no need for these fancy arrangements," Van said. "Can I say my wife, my rule?" He chuckled. "Van, I know I can't ask you for this, but please at least take care of your bank accounts." "I do," she frowned. "That's why I know that I can't afford a business class seat." "You're still angry." He gently caressed her hair. "Lie down, take some rest." Wen nodded in agreement. She was already exhausted from staying up almost whole night packing her luggage. Seeing the arrangements, she didn't argue any further. Although this expense for luxury seemed unreasonable to her, but she actually felt good for this special treatment. She lied down on bed and eventually fell asleep. Yoongi also lied down to take nap, but this time it wasn't romantic at all for him as her exhausted body almost climbed him, wrapped him like a python. Her grip was really strong this time. She was using him as her personal pillow, and that's why the girl was repeatedly adjusting the pillow to her own convenience. Obviously, her hands roamed freely over his body. Yoongi endured everything without uttering a single word. If it wasn't a flight but their little home, maybe he wouldn't have felt so uncomfortable about Wan's actions, but rather he would have found it romantic. A girl with responsibility and dreams in her eyes is far more beautiful than a girl with just an eyeliner. Looking at Wan's sleeping magical eyes, he thought as he is somewhat forced to hire the daughter of his father's friend as his personal assistant through recommendation, who coincidentally emphasizes looks over quality to seduce him. Am I not beautiful? Her husky tone sounded seductive. Did I say that? He tried to defend. Then why are you looking out the window? Are you looking at the clouds? She asked with a frown. The plane has landed. Now get up. He smiled. Why are you smiling? She said with a frown. Because I fall asleep with my head on your lap. He shook his head. That's because your sleep cycle has completely changed. He kissed her hair. Wan, I know you are tired, but please behave like a proper lady in front of the photographers. Here, the photographers. Are you joking? I mean, I will be identified easily. What if they approach to meet me in my college campus? I mean, I respect and proud of everything you achieved, but one deeply exiled. Okay, I will. Just lead me or follow me. Yoongi led her to step out first. As soon as Wan stepped into the protective shell of the bodyguards, she was safely escorted to the car. Yoongi came after a few minutes. He seemed devastated by the expressions. He got into the car and greeted the driver. Wan looked at the man on driver's seat. The middle-aged man greeted Yoongi and Wan with a warm smile. Thank God you were able to send her earlier. The reporters looked so aggressive. That's their job, uncle, Yoongi uttered. As soon as the car engine was ignited, the girl felt tired due to the jet lag. She yawned and leaned towards the window. Although the condition of the road was fairly good, but the road was crowded. As a result, Van's head was getting bumped with the window frame every time the brake was applied. Yoongi carefully lifted Van and pulled her body towards him. He carefully rested her head on his shoulder and wrapped his arms around her waist tightly. In the car's rearview mirror, he saw that the middle-aged man on the driver's seat smiling. Young master, you have never taken such good care of anyone. It seems very satisfying to see you taking care of her and keeping her safe. I hope you will help me in the future to keep her safe like this. Yoongi curved his lips and inhaled the faded scent of a shampoo. The car stopped in front of a beautiful house. Is this yours? I have noticed it many times when passing by. It's so beautiful, she uttered and stretched her arms, yawning and closed her eyes again. Come on, step out of the car, Van. Yoongi kissed her hair. Or do you want me to carry you out of the car and take you home? Yeah. This time he intended to make her feel awkward. I won't mind as I am quite exhausted. I prefer to conserve my energy, but she just sighed lazily and stepped out of the car. So beautiful. She looked at Yoongi with a feeling of guilt slowly building inside her. Mr. Min, you deserve someone better. I have already got the best and the suitable one for me. She just refuses all the time. Yoongi uttered bluntly with a polite tone. No, that's not the situation. Van gasped as she felt being misunderstood. Meanwhile, Yoongi opened the main door. Welcome, Van. Holding her hand, Yoongi entered into the house. Do you like the interior? Van was still looking around the room in amazement. You bought this in this condition or you had to renovate the house? I chose the design. Grandpa Kim helped me a lot with the plan, interior, and gardening tips. Yoongi said, You know, Van, half of my dream has come true today. I? Van asked, looking at him with a puzzled look. I used to dream when you would enter this house for the first time, I would carry you around the whole house in my arms. Yoongi definitely sounded hopeless romantic this time. Van felt guilty. She could have said yes, but that would have been playing with his feelings. Yoongi had become her routine, her safest place. Seeing the girl feeling uncomfortable, he said, The master bedroom is all empty. I thought it will be convenient for you to arrange the furniture according to your convenience. Thank you, but I don't have any specific criteria for living. Even though she said it with sufficient restraint, she felt so tired that she yawned. Yoongi thought. She slept the whole way, still yawning from exhaustion. Are you hungry? He asked her, and she nodded in agreement. Let me check. Yoongi went to the kitchen area to check if there was something the chef has prepared for them. Do you like the bouquet? Coming out of the kitchen, Yoongi was just about to ask Van that question and found her asleep on the couch. How can someone fall asleep anywhere, even at such a young age? He thought and took her in his arms and carried her in bridal style to his bedroom, which was coincidentally the only habitable room. As soon as she was put to bed, she woke up but did not open her eyes. She said in a mumble, Suppose you had booked a ticket to go somewhere and you got it. The date and time when you were set to go, you didn't have much to do at your regular work field. But would you cancel your plan of going to that place on the pretext of being tired or not having proper clothes? You can say that if you don't go to that place, you will not miss having such a worldview. It's not a big deal, but you will definitely learn something new. You will definitely learn something new. Jung chuckled. You explained the situation very well, even in your sleep. I understand that you don't want to run away, etc. rest because you were tired and all your belongings have been brought from the dormitory. Now tell me, will you eat some tteokbokki? You just told me to take rest. I won't get up, she said, whining. You shouldn't say no to food, especially when you are hungry. Get up, I will feed you, he said. When he gestured Van to open her mouth and fed her a spoonful of the delicious tteokbokki. Now tell me what happened. Actually, my friends, that is, my classmates, with whom I used to live in the same room in the dormitory, all of them applied for jobs as temporary employees in different companies during the semester break. Just for fun, you can say for some money and also to learn something. One gulped down the food after chewing properly. This year, my major subject, art stream, has no connection with the place where I got selected as an assistant. I feel very scared. In commercial offices, their employees' body language is very sharp. It happens in our cases too, but that's inside OT. In that place, everything is very strict. Outside, we are asked to keep our body language very humble and grounded. She surrendered. Oh, Yoongi glanced at her and focused on his portion of food. Life can never be predicted. You can't predict the problems that come in life. It is very important to learn the game of breaking the phenomenon. If you want to learn something, you should definitely join the work. Maybe you can say you won't be taught everything there, but definitely they won't be give all the responsibility on the temporary employees. They might use temporary employees for a little more casual work, but that's all. There is nothing to be afraid of, and being busy is a blessing in life. How many people in your place want this busy life, but unfortunately, they are still unemployed? Learn to consider yourself lucky. When? One more question, what should I wear? A polo tee and a denim would be okay? I looked at him, who just chuckled casually hearing this topic. So, you are quite conscious of the first impression people make of you. What about me? Yoongi asked. If I choose to vibrate in my own natural frequency, I will be misunderstood, and I have already made peace with that fact. She sighed. If you focus on suffering, it will continue to cause you suffering. If you focus on learning, then you will continue to grow. This is the basic principle of life. He wiped her lips with a wet tissue. Have some rest. Don't overthink. It's okay to be sad after taking right decision. He gently patted on her shoulder. Van looked at Yoongi's figure. She was amazed, seeing the positive yet practical side of him. Finally, I'm playing the truth and dare, and my dare is to get that job. She just closed her eyes when she heard Yoongi's voice. I'm looking for a little space in bed tonight. It's snowing outside and the centralized heater isn't working in the living room. For some reason, I have some urgent work to do at the office tomorrow. I can't afford to be sick. His body was tired and exhausted, but he waited for her permission. He fell asleep as soon as he lay down in bed.